Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Hugo. This is Signs of the Pastime. Today, I want to share with you the biggest purchase that I have made. And by that, I mean literally the biggest one. I'm going to open this up on video right now, and I'm going to talk about the team that is featured on this piece. So let's get into it. I got a JSA certified letter. The piece is this Negro Leagues Legends of the New York Cubans. Not as big as the package that it came in, but it is going to be the biggest autograph piece that I have that I'm going to hang on my wall. It's going to go right up there. I want to put it up in that spot there to complete the look on my wall. Just continue filling in the spaces. So let's talk about this piece, talk about some of the players that are featured on here in the history of the New York Cubans in the Negro Leagues.
The New York Cubans were more than just a baseball team. They were a symbol of pride, passion, and international talent in the Negro Leagues. Playing from 1935 to 1950, the Cubans were owned by Alex Bumpez, a savvy and influential figure who not only championed Latin American talent, but later became a major league scout after integration. Despite the name, the New York Cubans weren't made up solely of Cuban players. They were a mix of stars from across Latin America and the United States, Dominican, Puerto Rican, African American, a true blend of cultures that gave the team a unique energy and style. They boasted some of the most legendary players in Negro League history. Martin Diego, known as El Maestro, could do it all: pitch, hit, field, you name it. He's the only player in the Hall of Fame in 5 different countries. Then there was Tetelo Vargas, a lightning-fast Dominican outfielder with a smooth left-handed swing and base-stealing speed that earned him the nickname the Dominican Deer. And later, a young Minnie Minoso, a future Major League All-Star and first Afro-Latino in the big leagues, got his start with the Cubans. They called several stadiums home: Hinchcliffe Stadium in New Jersey, Dyckman Oval in Manhattan, and even the legendary Polo Grounds in Yankee Stadium. Their shining moment came in 1947 when they won the Negro World Series, defeating the Cleveland Buckeyes in a dramatic championship run. It was the crowning achievement of a team that embodied the heart and soul of Negro League baseball: fast, fearless, and full of flair. The New York Cubans may not be a household name today, but their legacy is woven into the fabric of baseball history, a reminder of power, diversity, excellence, and love for the game.
Here's an up-close look at the piece. This was done by artist Michael Armstrong, and it's signed by him right here in the corner. He made 250 of these, and this is number 14, and it was done in July of 1996, which is important because most of these guys passed away within a couple of years after this. So this was really great for them to see themselves being honored in such a way. Gave them an opportunity to go out and be celebrated by the fans, sign some of these autographs, which is why I love these pieces so much. Most of these guys didn't have cards. So this was a really nice way to celebrate their accomplishments and their careers, and which is why I love it so much. This piece measures 16 by 20, so I need to find a nice frame for it to get it up on my wall. And now more about the New York Cubans. They began by playing in Hinchcliffe Stadium and Dyckman Oval in Harlem, but later on they also played games at the Polo Grounds and Yankee Stadium. We'll put those back there. And they won the championship in 1947. The same year that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. So 1947 was a big year, not only all of baseball and Jackie, but also the New York Cubans winning the Negro World Series. Let me go over the players that are featured on this. We have pitcher Rudy Fernandez, Cuban descent. He was on the team for a few years. We have another pitcher, James Pee Wee Jenkins, who's African American, and he was on the 47 championship team. Ray Noble, who most of you are probably familiar with. He also played on the New York Giants for a few years. And Ray Noble was also on the 47 championship team, and he's Cuban. Another Cuban is Armando Vasquez. He was a first baseman, and he played with the team for a couple of years. And we have Claudio Duani, who was also on the 47 championship team, and he's Cuban descent as well. Now I want to talk about some of the players that played on the New York Cubans, and I wish I had all their cards, but unfortunately I don't have one for Martin Diego or Tetelo Vargas, but I do have one for Minnie Minoso, who also played in the New York Cubans. And I have this autograph card that I received from my friend Paul at Fast Breaks and Breakfast, who's also Cuban. And this is one of my favorite cards in my collection, and probably the best known New York Cuban that I have in my collection. Another card I want to show is another one that I got from Paul, and it's this 1952 Burke Ross, a Rey Noble. Just a beautiful card, and there's his autograph now. Now I have a card and an autograph. Put it right there next to Mini Minoso. A pitcher that from Panama that played on the New York Cubans, and he's one of the all-time leaders in wins for the Cubans, is Patricio Scantlebury from Panama. So he is a legend in Panama. See there, he played for the New York Cubans. And very hard to find autograph of Scantlebury. I'll put that back there like this. Another card from the Ted Williams Card Company set that I love so much is this Armando Vasquez. This is his autograph, and this is the only card I have of him. You see him there featured in his New York Cubans uniform. Just a great card. I'm so glad that these players were honored in this set. Another one from the set is Lyman Bostock Sr. He played with the Cubans in 1948. Another great card. And what's interesting about Lyman Bostock Sr. is his son played in the big leagues, Lyman Bostock Jr. And there were a couple other New York Cuban players who had sons that went on to play in the big leagues. The first one is Luis Tiant Sr. Now, I don't have a card for him, but I do have his son, Luis Tiant Jr., El Tiante, who had a great and successful major league career. And another one was Gil Garrido, who Gil Garrido Jr., as he signs his name there, his dad played for the Cubans, and they were from Panama. Luis Tiant, of course, from Cuba, and Garrido from Panama. So let me play with these a little bit here, put them all together, bring in Scantlebury from the back, put them up here like this. And these are the guys that I have in my collection. And one more autograph that I want to show that I have up on my wall is this piece here, a celebration of early black baseball that has been signed by a lot of the guys that are featured on here. But the one that I want to show in particular is a guy that played for the New York Cubans, and he is a Puerto Rican legend, and that is Luis Villoldas. And his autograph, which is a very hard one to find, so I'm glad I have that one. His nickname was King Kong. He was a big man. You can see he's kneeling down here, but he was a really big time guy and great Puerto Rican player. Here on the New York Cubans, who featured players you can see from all over. They have players from Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Panama, African Americans. So it's just a very great team, very successful in the Negro Leagues, and I'm just glad that I have a lot of these players represented in my collection. So there you have it, guys, the New York Cubans that I have represented in my collection so far. Well, that does it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out my new signed piece. I hope you enjoyed it. And I think this week, as we celebrate the color barrier being broken in baseball, I think it's also good to celebrate and honor those who played in the Negro Leagues, like the New York Cubans. This is Hugo with Signs of the Pastime, saying thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.